Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again I'm coming to you with another field strip video. And today's field strip is on a very high-end and custom 1911. This is really a 2011 model because it is a double stack 1911 chambered in 9mm. This is the Nighthawk Custom Sandhawk. Now most people know how to field strip a 1911. It's a pretty standard procedure. However, this specialty model does have a compensator on the front and a little bit different recoil mechanism, so it doesn't come apart exactly the same way. So I want to demonstrate this on camera. Now you are going to need two tools to do this field strip. The first thing is going to be an aftermarket punch of some kind. This is a Glock disassembly tool that I said is an aftermarket one. Any type of standard punch will work. And then you have a very sophisticated tool called a paper clip. Now, I'm sure there's some other tools that are going to help us here in compressing the spring, but this is the best one that I can come up with that is malleable and seems to work on every 1911 that disassembles this particular way. So let's go ahead and field strip this firearm. First thing we're going to do, of course, is drop the magazine, make sure there is no ammunition. Then we'll pull the slide back and, of course, visually inspect that chamber. Make sure that this gun is safe. Now normally on a 1911 disassembly, you're going to take off the barrel bushing. Here, it doesn't have one. So all you have to do is pull the slide back to the disassembly notch right there where the slide stop is going to be. You want to hold it in place and make sure everything is lined up. You'll turn the firearm to the other side, then you're going to take your punch, and this should simply lightly push out. It's very easy, and we should be able to pull out the slide stop. We can now set that aside, slowly release the pressure off of the slide, and now the whole slide and the frame should come apart. So here is the frame, and here is the slide. Now, because it doesn't have a barrel bushing, you cannot remove this recoil spring. It will not pull out the back. So what you're going to have to do is push the slide forward a little bit. You're going to unlock it, push that slide forward, and eventually you're going to see a little hole appear in the guide rod. You're going to take this paper clip and you're going to put that little end that I created and bent into that hole, and that will take the pressure off of the spring, essentially hold it compressed. That means we can now pull the whole assembly backwards. So we'll pull the slide backwards, and now we should be able to manipulate this recoil spring out of the firearm. So here we go, and there is the recoil spring. Now that we have that out, we can push the link forward and we can remove the barrel. And there you go. That is the field stripped Nighthawk Sandhawk. So now to reassemble this, it's the exact opposite of disassembly. We'll take the slide and the barrel. We'll insert the barrel from the front. Put that in the back. Now we're going to have to manipulate this guide rod assembly through the slide again. So let's go ahead and unlock the barrel. Let's put this through. I'll put that little paper clip through first. Just kind of get it through there. And if you also notice, I keep this side of the paper clip completely coiled up because I don't want it to scratch anything. I want no sharp surfaces. Then we just have to manipulate the spring through the front of the slide. As I mentioned, this can be a little bit tricky. Might take me a moment here. Make sure everything gets lined up. And there we go. So now we will compress the spring, and we can take this little special tool out, and then we can release the pressure on that spring, and the barrel will come back. Now, you want to make sure the link is in the downward position. It's really easy to do if you push up on the recoil spring. And now we should be able to put this back on the frame. So the slide will go over that. And now this is really hard to capture on camera. You've got to make sure that that link lines up with the notch and where the hole is for the slide stop. So sometimes you might need to take this little punch here and make sure everything is lined up perfect. It doesn't have to be exact, it just has to be pretty close, and right there it is. And now I should be able to put that slide stop through the frame. Might need just a little bit of work there, and there we go. It's through. Now We'll rest it right there on that ledge. We're going to pull the slide back to that disassembly notch, and sometimes you're able to push the slide stop up against the detent and it should go in fine. This one is actually a little bit stiff, so I can't get that one to go really easy, and I definitely don't want to put on an idiot scratch on such a nice firearm. So what I do is I take my punch again and I'll push this little detent up, and I can push that slide stop in just a little bit, and then it should go all the way through, and there you go. So that should be a complete reassembly of this Nighthawk Custom 1911. A little bit tricky, a little bit labor intensive, but it's just the way the design is, because this is such a fine piece of machinery. So there you go. I hope this helps somebody in the future. I'm sure there's a couple of ways of doing it differently, but this is how I do it. So let me know if you have any questions, and I hope this video helps someone in the future. So as always, thanks for watching.